Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel for another exciting and fun-filled episode on this Passagemaker dinghy build series. We got lots to do, so let's get at it. Alright, so today is oar-lock riser day, so I'd like to at least try to get all 4 oar-lock risers in. May not get the oar-locks themselves in, but if I can get the risers mounted in, I think that's a good plan for today. So they have you measure on the front here. It's 12 inches from this bulkhead to the center of the riser, and then on the back it's where is it? Yeah, so it's 14 inches from that bulkhead to the center of that riser. Pretty sure I mentioned before, the kit only comes with 2, so 1 set of risers and oar locks. So if you want to have 4, you got to go buy from them another set of risers and oar locks. So just so you know that. So the other thing is they, in the instructions, they want you to epoxy this down, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually go ahead and glue and screw it down, and I'm going to use 4200 and brass screws to put it down. They also, in the book, they want you to use stainless steel screws with the brass, with bronze or whatever this is, bronze oar locks here, and that's just goofy, I think. So I've got brass screws for that. So anyways, yes, let me get you, I've got this one just about where I want it, so let me get you set up and we'll go through the installation here on this one. Alright, so I did my measurements and got the center, and I actually put a mark on the boat here and then on the riser so I can see where the center is, and I can line it up down there. And then I kind of trace the outline so I know where the oar lock itself should go, and I've got a couple marks out at the end where I want to put 2 screws. So we'll start that with drilling some 1/8 inch pilot holes. I've got number 10 brass or bronze screws there, brass screws. So hopefully this goes pretty good. I don't want to go all the way through here, I don't think. I'm using inch and what are they? 1.5 inch bronze screws. So maybe I better tape, put a piece of tape on here so I know how far I want to go. Alright, that should be good. We shouldn't go all the way through. Alright, and then I want to put a countersink on these. When I put the screws in for good, I'll make sure I put some 4200 in there, so we'll make sure we seal that up good. Alright, and then oops, I'm going to need a flathead. Oh, these are Phillips head I got. Alright, well I don't need a flathead then. I need a Phillips head, and I think I got the right one. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I was thinking I ought to do it by hand, but that ain't gonna work. Well, what the heck? I did drill that hole. 1/8 inch, isn't it? Alright, that doesn't look too bad. Alright, so now I've got the put marks on both ends. So now I just need to take this off. So now I just want to rough up, I'll just rough up the paint here and probably take a good chunk of it off, and then we'll use the 4200 and bed this down. So let me go ahead and do that, and we'll be back in a little bit. Alrighty, so I went ahead and I've got the area masked off and cleaned up and scuffed up and everything, so I'm just going to put some 4200 on here. Smear it out. All right, let's give that a shot. Might be a little bit light on it, but I've transferred the marks, so hopefully I'm pretty close to where I need to be. Good squeeze out. Might actually got it right. Yep, looks pretty good. So I'll just clean that up, take the tape off, and go and do the next one. So it'll be 3 more times, rinse and repeat, and we'll be back to see what they look like. All right, another day out here in the shed, and these oarlock risers are looking pretty good. The only thing is I did get some more oozage. I don't know if you can see it here or not, but the 4200 oozed out a little bit more. Kind of in the mind of not doing anything with it, to be honest with you. It's just a little bit of a ridge along, and they all have it. So I'm just not going to worry about it right now. But other than that, they came out pretty good. Pretty happy with it. So let me show you. We got to put the oarlock risers on today, and looks like the best way to do it is to put them where you want them and put a piece of tape down, and then I can drill the pilot holes. I'll probably just do the top first, and then screw it in, and do the bottom. I did remember yesterday to put some 4200 for the screw heads, for the screw holes. The first one I had to back out and redo, so that was a little bit of a mess, but it wasn't too bad. And this time for these screws here, I'll be putting some 4200 on them when we put them in. Now fasten inside of the hull. Inboard faces it with number 10 SB oval head screws. So I think they wanted us to use, I'm not sure where they went. I'm not gonna use them anyways. So I'm gonna use actually use number 8 brass for the top and number 10 for the side. And the reason being is the number 8 will be below the surface, whereas the number 10 is just right at the surface or a little bit below. And for the top, I wanted to make sure I was below, and number 8 seems to fit pretty good there. And then the number 10 on the side, I'll be using short ones because we've only got the thickness here for the thickness of the riser itself. So I'll be using short. I think these are 3/4 inch ones. Yeah, so these are 3/4 inch ones that we'll be using there. So I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll get these 4 oarlocks in here and see what else we get into. All right, let's see if we can get these mostly in the center here. And a good angle. All right, I'm going to do a dry fit. I'm not sure why I'm going to do a dry fit, but I am. Because if it don't work, it's take the whole oarlock riser off and put a new one on. That's pretty darn good right there. Yep. They don't show in the manual, they don't show. So install to the top and inboard face. Oh, so it does it to the top and inboard faces. So they want you to use 1-inch screws. Not sure you got enough meat there. All right, well, anyways, let me go ahead and back these out. Find my 4200. Yeah, probably just need a little bit of a dab here. All right, now let's see, number 10. I think that's should be about a 3/16 inch pilot hole. Let's see what I got over here. All right, now this might be a little bit difficult. Yep, good deal. Let me just put some silicone on these guys, or some 4200. Alrighty, then that's it. Rinse and repeat 3 times. So let me get that done, and then we'll be back. All right, the oar locks are all installed, look pretty good. But now we're back to the rudder. So I had sent a question to CLC Boats about the pintles here, and so this is what they look like when they come, and you can see they're not spread out wide enough. And the answer back from them was to yeah, you can bend them out a little bit. So yeah, I tried, and I could probably get this to work. I'd have to see what you have to do is spread out this bottom part and then bend back in this other part. And even then, so you know, if you're off one way or another a little bit here, that's going to give a problem. This is probably one of the worst customer service answers I've seen in a while. Is yeah, you can bend it a little bit to make it fit. You look up this race light is the brand of this Pintles and Gudgeon, and this one is a 1.1/8. I think it's their RL 360 or 390 or something like that. And it is definitely not made for an 1.5 inch width. It's made for an 1.1/8, and that's what it should be used for. So that is garbage. That is that. I don't know why I got a little bit upset about the CLC boats, because I told them, I says, hey, they've got the Pintles and Gudgeon that are actually meant for an 1.5 inch, and that's what this should be. And they said, nope, it should be these other ones. Granted, these are heavy duty Pintles and Gudgeons, but you can see it fits on there real nice. And the I was worried a little bit about since the post here is looks like it's closer than it would be for this other one, how that would work. And so if you put this on here, and then this is the part that goes on the boat, it should give us, I mean, it should be plenty of room here to swing that rudder. I don't see any interference problem, mainly because the height of this is sticking out far enough, whereas on the ones that come with the boat, you can see it's a lot tighter to the boats. So I think that's probably fixes the interference issue, and it's heavier duty, so I know I'm not going to have any problem with it. So that's what I'm going to do next here, is to get the holes drilled out for this. And I think I've got to make one trip up to the hardware store, because when you use this one, these holes here are a lot closer. In fact, they would go through the piece that sits in between these two pieces, so it would be it wouldn't impact the rudder. But on the bottom here, these guys are in a location where it's going to go straight through, and it would impact the rudder. Up here, I think we're okay. Yep, we're definitely okay up here for the short one. so we can through bolt that one. But these other ones here we're going to have to put in with these, I think these are number 10. Let's see, so maybe I don't have to go up there. What are these ones for? Oh, these are the ones that go for the, yeah, so these go for here. These are the 3/4 there. The holes for the holes for these guys are a little bit bigger, but I still think it's fine with the hardware. It gives us a little bit of slop there. Like I said, I think I've got to go back up to the hardware store to get. Well, I know I've got to get wood screws for the bottom pintle here, so I need to get 4 for that, and I may just go ahead and size them up to the next size. I think these are supposed to be number 10s. Yeah, they're number 10. Oh, the wood screw is a number 8 that you're supposed to use, and the rest are number 10. So I think I'm going to go up to hardware store and we'll see if we can size up these a little bit bigger, and then we can put this on. We'll have to get I want to use the drill press to drill the holes so that I'm nice and square, especially on the top one here, because that's a through bolt. So I want to make sure I get those nice and square, and I'll probably go ahead and do these other ones at the same time too. So let me make another trip up to the hardware pusher, and then we'll get back and we'll be able to get, hopefully, not sure if we'll get the rudder installed today, but at least we'll get started on it. All right, went up to the hardware pusher store, and 1/4-20 seems to work pretty darn good. Got a 1/4-20 2-inch long through bolt here. So now we'll have to drill through the whole rudder assembly here, and hopefully get it right. So that's why I'm doing it on the drill press here. I did take off the tiller arm. And I don't know if I remember saying it. I was thinking that it was too early to put on the tiller, but nope, that's what they had you do. That's my fault for listening to them again. So I got a 1/4-inch bit here. I think we're all ready to go, and let's see how this goes. Yep, see all the way through it. So that one's good. Just got to get this next one. Was thinking about doing a drill and fill on these, drill, fill, and drill, but I think I'm just going to use some 4200 in them. It's probably the wrong decision, but I really don't want to have to go through another epoxy and wait for it to dry and then drill it back out again. So I'm just going to press ahead. We'll squirt some 4200 in there and call it good. Yep, that is pretty darn close. We'll have to put the bolts in and see how it looks. Do a dry fit first, of course, and then we'll put the 4200 in. So then on the bottom side here, I'm not sure if I'm going to use the drill press. I don't think I am. Maybe I will. Let me see how that looks. All right, for these bottom ones, like I said, the rudder, if I did a through bolt, then the rudder is going to be in the way. So these bottom ones, I got this 1/2-inch number 12, I think it is, stainless steel screw. So I need to do a pilot hole for them, and so I think I'm going to just go ahead and use the drill press. I've got the pintle here taped in pretty good, and it shouldn't move too much. I figured I better go ahead and use the drill press to give me a little bit better control. So let's see how this works. And I've got the tape on there. I don't want to go through the other side. Remember, we've got epoxy on the inside there, so I'm trying to be real careful on how this goes. Get the other side. Alright, hopefully that'll be good enough. Let me get you set up and we'll get these assembled with some 4200. Alrighty, it's getting hot out here, and so we're going to skip the dry fit and go right to, we're just going to put these darn things in. I think we're okay in this instance doing that. If I can get my RTV or my 4200 here. Alright, now I'm ready. We'll just put them in part way here and come back and tighten them down once we got all these guys in. Alright, that one went pretty good. Now I need to put the, just take some on a toothpick here. There we go, that ought to do it. I'd rather not get 4200 on my socket wrench, but I'm not sure that's I'm gonna have a say about that. Well, heck, that looks even better than I'd hoped for. I gotta get a win every once in a while, huh? So there we go. Got the long one goes on the bottom and the short one on top. And next thing we got to do is put the gudgeons on, and I think that's going to wait for another day because it's starting to get hot out here. I'm getting hungry, and I think it'd be better to do that on another day. But I should have all the hardware I need. So I've got the same size. Where'd they go? I just had, oh yeah, here they are. Yeah, so I've got inch long goes on the top, and then 3/4 inch goes on the bottom. So I've got those screws already right there. So that should be good. So we'll pause here and be back out probably tomorrow. Alrighty, another day and another thing we're looking at here. So the instructions are pretty good for 1.5" from the top and 12.5" from the top is where the top of the gudgeons go, and then they tell you how to do it. Use some tape, mark some holes, put in 1 inch at the top, 3/4 inch at the bottom, and everything is, once you install it, hang the rudder and make sure it works. The one thing that we've got to take a look at here though is a stop tang. So you can see how this is the transom back here, and then the pintle is sitting here on the top one, and if you rotate it 90 degrees then you can lift it up. Otherwise it keeps the rudder in place. So with the other pintles and gudgeons we have here, so I've got it all set up. It's filmed back here, but we'll do our best. So you can see I've got the gudgeons just taped on right now in the right spot. Real nice. I really like this. We've got good clearance here. I may still put the tiller on to make sure that we've got good clearance side to side for the tiller in that spot. The problem looks like we don't have enough because these pintles are a lot taller than what they give you. We don't have enough room here at the top to put in the whatever this darn thing they called the stopper, the stop tang. But it looks like I can put it here in the bottom, on the bottom one, and I think that will work. I can find a spot for it. It's kind of hard to see. I can find a spot for it in here, and then it'll hit the bottom of this pintle here, and keep it from coming up. I hope. I may put a couple of washers behind it just to bring it out a little bit, so that we make sure we get that that bottom part of the pintle hitting right there. So yep, so that's the plan. Like I said, it's pretty difficult to film back here, so I'm not going to film putting this together. We'll come back and see what it looks like when we're done. Alrighty then, I got these installed but ran into a couple problems. First being that down here where they have you use 3/4 inch screws, they should be 1/2 inch because I went through, but hopefully you can see I put some 4200 along there to seal that up pretty good. Now when I put this on, put the rudder on, yeah, we got a problem. I'm not sure why I didn't notice it when I had them taped in there, but the problem is that we've got the motor mount, this pad up here, and nothing down there, so we've got too much of a distance this way. If you look down, I'm trying to, I don't think the camera will pick it up, but anyways, this bottom one needs to come out some, so I need to have some kind of backing plate, and I need to get that one out of there right now because I got the 4200 in there. So let me get that out of there and then see if I can figure out what we're going to do next. Alright then, so my solution is that I went ahead and cut out a chunk out of this 1/4 inch PVC board and shaped it up halfway decent and use that as a backer, and then I've got washers in between that and the gudgeon, and I don't know if I'll be able to show this, but pretty darn close to the thickness of the motor pad by doing that. So what I'll do is smear some 4200 all on the back side of this PVC board, and then screw it in and see if that works. So let me go ahead and do that, and we'll take a look at it. Alright, got it in. Something still isn't quite right about it, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's a little bit, something's off just a little bit. It turns this way really good, but then back this way it's a little bit tight. I mean, I'm all the way over before it gets real tight, so I think I'm okay with that. The tiller has plenty of movement in it without any problems, so I think we're good there. So I just need to I'm going to put the rudder blade in, and maybe not. I don't know if I got enough room back here. That's not a big deal, but then I just need to put the rudder or the stop here, and I've already marked a spot where I think that'll fit. So let me go ahead and do that, and then see what we get into next. Alright then, so the last piece that we have to do here are these fair leads for the jib sheet, and they don't really tell you much about the placement. I don't really think it's too important, so I went ahead and just and this is 2 10/24 by 1.5 inch machine screws. Well, that's wrong. So I've got a number 10 here, and if you use number 10, it doesn't fit. Yeah, CLC, that's wrong. In fact, later on in the book, if you want to do the reefing lines on the mast, they have you put in other the same fair leads, and they tell you to use number 8. so I don't know what they're thinking, but anyways, I've got some number 8 that fit in there just perfect, and these are just through bolted on, and I've got lock washers. So I've got the positions So I just went ahead and I just went 4 inches from the front of the bulkhead to the front of the fair lead here on both sides, and then tried to make sure it was in line with the that mini bulkhead there thing. So I think that's about the best I can do. The only thing I got to do now is just drill the holes for them and bolt them in. So let me go ahead and get you set up, and we'll see if we can show you that. All right, that's going to have to do. So anyways, I've got a piece of wood here clamped underneath where the drill is, so hopefully we'll reduce the drill out. I've got a smaller drill bit here that I just want to go ahead and mark where the 2 holes are. Good enough. Now I can take the bigger drill bit, put a dab right on top of the holes here. Good enough. What the heck? Aren't those screws long enough? Apparently not. Alright, I got that one started. Maybe should have done a dry fit on this. Yeah, not long enough. Hopefully I can get these screws out. Yep. And, oh, alright, well, CLC, alright. So I got 1.25 inches instead of 1.5 inches. Alright. And I didn't get any 1.5 inches. Good grief. So between CLC and me, we can really hose things up, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right now. I don't have any other. These are all 2-inch. Alright, well good. So let me just clean up this a little bit. And then I think I'll make a run up to the hardware store again this afternoon. We'll get the right ones and put these in. And we'll be back probably another day to finish this up. Alright, I made it up to the hardware store out and about today. And even though it's way past my my siesta time, my afternoon siesta time, I'm out here trying to put these darn fair leads in. So I got 1.5 inches, number 8 screws, 832 screws, fit in there nice. I've got plenty of room underneath. So let's get a little bit of goop on there and making a mess. Also, I got some small fender washers. Seems like a good idea to have a little bit more of a backing plate for these nuts. Not sure how much pressure is going to be put on this fair lead, but having just those nuts there didn't seem like a very good idea to me. That's not going anywhere. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do the other one. We'll pause here. We don't have much left to do, but we still have some things we got to get done before we take this boat out. So let me see what's next. Alrighty, so today I wanted to do this here, bend the sails on the boom in the yard. So first thing is find a clean space to lay out your mainsail, which will be laced permanently to the boom in the yard. A clean space. Well, I think it's a good thing I've got a second workshop in here. Most of you may remember this is my dining room, and I'm pretty sure I've cleaned the floor in here at least once this year. So I think this is about as clean as I'm going to get. So, anyways, it's a real nice sail that they give you here, and I've got the yard and then the boom laid out where I think they go, and just about enough room. So I'm going to put the boom on first, I think, and then hopefully I can make enough room to put the yard on. But yeah, the sail's real nice. It's got battens in it, 2 battens in it, nice little streamers. Unfortunately, they're instructions are right up to par here. I've been looking at them for about the last 15 minutes, and I think I almost understand what we got to do here. But anyways, I'll set you up and see what we're gonna do here and how we're gonna do it. Alrighty then. So I did buy the when I bought the sail kit, I bought their line kit, whatever it was called. Just so I didn't have to worry about sourcing the right rope and everything else. It's probably a little bit expensive, but at this point, doesn't matter. All right, so we're supposed to start at this end and supposed to lashing the sail to holes at the ends of the boom in the yard. We'll call these lashing out hauls. At the tack end, the forward end of the boom, right here, simply run the out haul through the 2 holes in the gooseneck, around the boom bottom, and through the grommet on the sail. Sounds like we just go around once. At either end, you pass the line through. Fasten the out hauls with a square knot. Pull the out hauls as tight as you can before tying the knots. Better to have a sail too tight than too loose. To prevent the square knot from working loose, simply add a stopper knot as shown here. Alright. Alright, well good. So I don't know. I guess I'll just go ahead and we'll start here. Oh, I do have a hot knife now, so hopefully it doesn't stink up the house. But that's what I'll be using. So around here, through here, back through here, and I'll probably tie. Alright, well I know how long it's got to be. It's got to be about that long there. So let me cut it first. Alright, let's do this different. This doesn't seem right. There's a hole here that is for the halyard, I think. And I don't think if we make it tight down to here, we're going to have room to get the halyard through. See what I mean? I don't know if you can see that, but there's the. See, if I make it as tight as I can, then there's no way that halyard's coming through. So I'm going to go ahead and give me a little bit of room there, about like that. And we'll make a square knot. Yep, that's a square knot. I'm not going to worry about the danglies right now. I'm going to leave them. That looks like that's about right. Gives us room for the halyards. Alright, now I just got to go down to do the other end, and then that's where we start getting into at the clue end. Rather than running the out haul around the boom, you'll pass the line through one hole, through the main sheet block, and double back through the same hole. Repeat the process on the opposite side, passing through the block again and terminate the line at the grommet in the sail. So they show a pretty good picture here. So I think I understand what they're trying to do. Alright, let me get over there and see if we can figure that one out. Good. So we got plenty of room here. And this is the main sheet block. So it goes under here. After we go around twice. All right, let's see if we can figure that out here. All right, so we come down through one hole. Around the main sheet block. Back up the same hole. And do the same thing on the other side. through, back up. Well, that looks right. Terminate the line at the ground. So looking at their diagram here, though, they're running that through that grommet on the sail quite a few times, and doing some kind of fancy knot there or something. I know I'm going to end up burning myself on that thing before the day is done. Just know it. Right, so I'm going to come back. Yeah, so they have actually come back through here. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm trying to keep this main block, the block on the bottom here, centered in that. Keep this thing about right. See if we can tighten this up really good this way. And then come back. Like I should use a rolling hitch here or something. Do my double knot, my square knot right here. That looks pretty good. It almost looks like their picture. Let me just, I'm just gonna finish this off with one of these nuts. Well, that's a nice tight fit in there. All right, good. We're making progress now. Woohoo! All right, so now I need to do the yard. I need to do kind of the similar thing with the yard. So let me get around and get that set up. All right, so for the yard, they aren't real forthcoming. You kind of have to deduce it on your own, but the sail will be attached to this this edge here, and this edge on facing me. This will be the mast going up. So the yard gets attached to the bottom, basically, or the sail gets attached to the bottom of the yard. That's what I'm trying to say. So they want us to do a double loop and a square knot through this grommet here, and it's not real clear, but this, with this reinforcement patch here, and looking at the other pictures, we've got a bunch of grommets all over the whole darn sail, but this has got to be the one for the bottom of the yard, I hope. And I'm trying to find a picture. So we only got the one hole, so that makes it a lot easier. All right, so we're going to do once. And come back around. So which way? So if I do a double loop, I've got to come back around the yard one way. I don't want to come through this way, because that's where it's going to be sitting on the mast. I'm just having a brain fart. It's this old people's time here, so I got to come back. I've got to come back through this way. Should be. How come I don't have two holes here? There should be two holes here. Pretty sure it only called for one. Hold on, let me check something here as I say that. Yeah, they've only got one hole at 1/2 inch here, and they don't show any other way to do it. So I guess it's behind the. It's about the only way I got to do it. You really need to have two holes here, CLC. In fact, I'm really contemplating going back out in the garage, going out in the shed and drilling another damn hole. Well, we'll give this a shot, and if it chafes, because like I said, the yard is going to be riding on the mast, and then you've got these lines here sitting right on the darn mast. There should be 2 holes here, or I could do one line there and put a stopper knot to keep it from going through the hole, back through the hole on this side. Just do a stopper knot here. We'll give this a shot. I mean, if it chafes through, it's drill another hole and do it the right way. So I'll come back around like this and do a knot right here on the underside of it. Yep, all right, that's what I'll do. I don't like it, I think you can tell, but that's what we'll do. All right, now do the other end. Whoa. All right, so then at this end of the sail here, we got this, it came with this piece of rope or string here. It doesn't seem like it's very good string. So I'm not sure why they left this on here, if I'm supposed to do something with it or not, but I don't think it belongs on here. I think it was just something from maybe when they rolled it up or whatever. All right, anyway, so this one ought to be pretty straightforward. They showed just going around the side. It's quite a ways away from the sail is quite a ways away. I'm just trying to think if I should go back and redo that other one to get this up higher. But it's in the picture, it shows it looks like it's a little bit of distance away there too, so maybe we'll be okay. Yeah. All right, so this is the bottom. So on this side, I'm going to come through from that way and then come back through this side here. That's better. That's better. And then come back through. Just longer than that. Yep, there we go. That's pretty good. All right, good deal. Let's see if we can do anything else inside here today. Fasten all the outhauls. We did that. Individual lashings at each ground that secures the sails to the spar. Next, proceed to lashing the head of the sail to the yard. Remember, the edge of the yard to which sail is attached is straight. Well, now they tell me. Make 2 loops of 1/8 inch line through each grommet around the yard and knot it with a square knot. These lashings should be loose enough that if the outhaul tension is adjusted, the sail can slide along the spar. Well, that seems pretty simple. So we've got a bunch of grommets running down here. So on the yard, I've got 1, 2, 3. Got 3 along the yard here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll show you when we get to the next step. Alrighty, so I was just looking ahead to see if there was anything else we do before we actually start putting the mast up. And I got to a point here where you're running the main sheet and stuff, and then forward through the second main sheet block, lash towards the center of the boom. Well, there wasn't any instructions to lash that main sheet block to the center of the boom. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm still here inside, and I can get to it relatively easy. But the rest of it is done, and I think we'll probably do this. It would have been a lot easier if I'd have done this before I did anything else. Oh, good grief. CLC. And somewhere along in the instructions it does specifically tells you to go back and cut off the excess with a hot knife. So that's what I'll do. Yep, if you're taking notes, make sure you put this, in fact, it'd be the first thing I'd put on the boom here is this guy. Ah, that ain't going anywhere. All right, good. So let's go ahead and finish up here. Alrighty, well that's going to finish it up for this episode. I think we got quite a bit done. The only thing I've got left to do is to finish up some stuff on the trailer and then finish up the mast and run the running rigging and it's splash time. I think we're pretty close. So next episode I think we'll have a little bit in the beginning and then it should be smooth sailing from there on out. And it might actually be another week before I get that video out. I'll have to see how things work out. So it might not be next week, but it'll be the week after for sure, unless something terrible happens, and who knows. But anyways, I want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Please leave me any comments, questions, suggestions down below. Please tell your friends about me, and please subscribe. Everyone, take care and be good.